What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. It's Monday and it's also Martin Luther King Day, so pretty much nothing is going on today. Most people are off work. We're not off work, but the people we work with are. So basically, really calm day. It's about, honestly, like 5 o'clock in the evening. I had probably what is the latest start that I've had to my day in like forever today. So I was jet lagged, and maybe because I was running on like no sleep, but I woke up literally at like 11:30, almost 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So not proud of that, but it is what it is. You're gonna have good days and bad days. So today was just one of those days where I woke up and felt weird. But yeah, so just a quick recap of what I've done today. I woke up pretty late. I spoke with my business partner regarding TikTok. I finally got logged into our account. Literally, like, for the longest time, I wasn't able to access our TikTok account on my phone because TikTok kept making me do puzzle verifications, and then I would finish it and it would make me do another puzzle. And I fixed that by deleting the app, logging out of all my accounts, and then trying again. So that ended up working. So now I can finally post my own videos rather than send them all to Hunter and have him post them. So that's good. We've been very consistent with TikTok lately, and I've had a lot of views come through. Each video now is getting like 2,000 views. We're still not getting any traction on Shop itself, but we're getting traction on our account. So in turn, I'm excited because in the next couple of, weeks, honestly, after posting consistently, we're gonna find our brand voice, which is something I've talked about. And the style of content that's gonna work for our brand. And in turn, it's gonna allow us to scale and, blow up on TikTok Shop. So everything has been good regarding TikTok. After that, I kind of was about to go to boxing, but then I was a little late, so I couldn't end up making it. The elevators in my building are down, so literally I'm up 37 floors, and it's about a 20-minute wait for like the elevator because there's one working one in the entire building. So yeah, I ended up just going to the gym here and got like a full body workout in. I used the kettlebells, and there's this cardio workout I saw on Instagram. It's like kettlebell snatches. So you like, boom, like this, and then you go down and then you alternate your arms, So I didn't record that, but, just showed you guys the form, you go boom, down, up. So it was, that was actually intense. I did that for 10 minutes straight. I was like dying at the end of it. My shoulders were burning. And then I hit some chest and some more shoulders, like traps and stuff. So solid workout for the day. And what else do we have going on? I mean, that's literally taken me up until now, where I've been just thinking about what I want to do with this YouTube channel moving forward and how to title my videos and all this good stuff. Like I'm just trying to figure out still, like similarly to how with my CBD company, we're trying to find brand voice. Within my videos, I have an easy time portraying myself. I think like you guys should get to know me pretty well by now, but on the actual title itself and thumbnail and all this stuff, it's something that I keep overthinking. Probably I shouldn't overthink it, but I found like just a simple formula I'm going to use for my YouTube. It's just going to be like total revenue we did so far all the way up until today, for example, 0 to 1M episode X. So it's going to be super simple. All the titles are going to be pretty similar because sometimes I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, what do I title my video today? And it's like, yesterday was like experienced loops, and I was just sitting there like, is that gonna get clicked? I want more people to see them so that way they can see all the stuff that we're doing to build this company. So yeah, copywriting, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what we've done all the way up until today. But while I was walking my dog, I literally got this like weird feeling as if this world is like a complete simulation. Like, bro, I was in Utah where it's like snowing, 20 degrees, crazy cold. And then within like a couple hours, I was here and now it's 80 degrees. I'm walking around, there's palm trees and stuff. And I'm just like, something happened in my mind where I was like, bro, what is going on? Like my life feels fake. Like this feels not real, I don't know what the term is, maybe disassociation or something, but I was like sitting there like, damn, dude, what is actually happening? So that's the feeling that I've been kind of going through today. It's just been like a weird one, but yeah, outside from that, I'm gonna read these 2 articles my girl sent me. They look pretty cool. It's about like psychology and stuff. So alongside like business and everything, I'm trying to learn more psychology so that I can understand what goes in my head. Because also, if you watch my videos, you probably also see that I have a hard time putting into words some of my thoughts or explaining them pretty well. So what I want to do is understand psychology a bit more so I can put my thoughts into words easier. That's what I want to do more and get better at. And so where there's something like, for example, today where there's not too much going on or there's not too much work to be done, I want to be there and like be able to practice like with myself. So my YouTube is essentially just going to be practice for speaking, using new words, stop using the word which I just used just now. So I'm trying to work on myself through these videos and just like kind of analyze myself throughout the day. So that's really another reason that I'm making these in the first place, is to document the journey and then also like better myself over time through videos, just constant analyzation. It's just like with your business when you're reading statistics and you're reading your revenue and profit and all that stuff. It's the same exact thing. You just can't see pure numbers here, but you can see yourself and like essentially analytics on what you do wrong. So that's kind of the way that I want to approach my videos in my life right now. It's just like, dude, you're doing this too much. You're using the word or and too much. And so that's kind of why here I'm doing these videos, so I can put everything into words properly and become a better speaker, I guess. So yeah, but outside from that, I have kind of a couple of ideas for the next couple of months for CBD. So we are obviously posting on TikTok a ton, and as we grow, we're still building that affiliate program eventually. Like as soon as we find the brand voice, that's the most important thing, right? If I have a brand voice that works for our main account, then it's gonna be easy for other affiliates to emulate that brand voice, right? Make it even better and put it on their own account because people are gonna be familiar with what we do. So that's a reason that we want to get our brand voice first. So we're gonna build out a massive affiliate program still for the TikTok shop. And we've actually gotten a couple of requests from affiliates on TikTok itself to become, affiliates for us, but we've declined them because they don't look like they'd be people that we want representing our brand. And it seems like they just kind of wanted the free sample for the product. So I don't know, we're gonna eventually find our brand voice, who we want to represent our brand, the types of people we want to send samples to, and yeah, so it's gonna be pretty interesting next couple of months with TikTok Shop. After this month, literally like a month from today, is when we should hear from the bank regarding a merchant account increase, right? So what the merchant account increase means is, if you're new, basically right now, and I'm sorry if you've already watched this, but right now we can only do 150,000-ish per month in revenue because our merchant account, like you probably know of Stripe or Shopify payments, we have something else, but our merchant account makes us do only 150K per month until month 3. So 90 days in, we can do more. So we're gonna wait until they tell us what we can do. But it's actually crazy that we're only 90 days in because we've already done like 360,000 in revenue in or less than 90 days. We're about, 60 days in. So that's only 2 months, which is wild, or like 2.5 months. So it's been growing like crazy lately, but yeah, so plans, TikTok Shop, we're gonna grow that. We're gonna grow the merchant account cap in a month, and in February we're expecting to do something around like $700 to $1 million in revenue. This month is going to be another slow month, kind of just prepping for that, right? So honestly, like this kind of just makes me feel like I was made to do this kind of stuff, because in general business is pretty difficult and you have to go through a lot of problems in order to have success in business. Like for us, we're sitting here kind of not able to do anything, and it's a problem because we're not able to really even grow the business right now, except for like shop and other little tools, maybe retail and stuff like that, but we're not able to do a ton with it. Let me fix this camera. So we're not able to do a ton with it, but that's not a big deal to us. And the reason I say like, man, maybe I'm meant for the business is because I feel like my whole life I've had to deal with, check out that view real quick though. Yeah, pretty dope. But I feel like my whole life I've had to deal with problems. Like I was not born into like a wealthy family at all. My parents were separated, and great parents, but they separated, and it was hard on our family. Of course it is. If your parents are separated, you probably know that. But it's also just kind of been like that. So like I was born into a family with not much money and separated parents, and from a young age just kind of had to like deal with problems and problems and problems and problems. And then I started business at 14 years old and have made a lot of money and then lost a ton of money. So I've gone from like 0 to $1 million to 0 to $1 million to 0. So like it's happened multiple times, and I think that it's important that I've been learning from those things. But you know, literally, I told you guys I built a multi-million-dollar company and I got fucked over by a partner, you know, which was something that maybe I was doing wrong as well, as like picking the wrong people or not managing the people properly. And so that's something that I've learned from, right? But business is just a bunch of problems and life is just a bunch of problems. And so that's why I feel like I'm pretty good at business, is because my life has been quite problematic since I've been young. So I don't know, I just think that I've got it in me. Like that's something that I've realized about myself, is that I'm fine with dealing with problems, especially at this point. And in business, there's plenty of problems you're going to experience. And so get used to it, because that's just the way things are going to go. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much why I feel like everything's going well right now. Is yeah, we have one problem, but it's not that big of a deal. It's something we can't really do anything about right now anyway. We're looking for solutions, alternative solutions for it. And it's just not clouding our mind. Like a lot of people, you get under stress, you get under a problem, and you allow it to just completely cloud your mind. When in reality, that problem is solvable. And if it's not solvable through the route that you thought you could solve it in, then you need to find an alternative solution for the problem. And that's something that we're getting quite good at with our businesses and our lives. It's like, oh, you're having a problem, let's just say with your girl or something. Well, how do you solve the problem? You know, do you reflect on yourself? Is it your fault? Or do you look for an alternative solution to solving the problem with your girl, right? You just have to think outside the box with some things. Or in business, if, for example, right now, merchant account cap, we have a problem with the merchant account cap. So what's an alternative to that? We could use TikTok Shop, which has its own processor, and hopefully scale through that for the month when we don't have processing volume on our own account, right? So there's plenty of solutions out there. You just have to think outside the box and stop looking so one site minded into, or one road minded into your problems. You know, there's so much out there that there's not just one solution to every single problem. So that's why I think that we're good with this business. Everything's going really well. And I feel a ton of momentum, even still with these issues that we're experiencing, chargebacks, friendly fraud, things like that. There's plenty of issues that we're experiencing, but things are still going amazing because we're looking into solutions for the problems. We're not just letting them attack us, and kill us, right? It's like, if your village is under attack, you're gonna fight back, you know? So that's kind of the same way that this goes with business. So we're looking for complete solutions to our problems as they come up, and we're thinking about problems that will come up in the next couple of months and solving them before they happen. So that's the most important thing that I want you guys to get from this. And something about me is that we're very good at solving problems. I'm very good at solving problems now because I've experienced them several times. Well, a lot more than several times, but I've experienced a lot of problems and got very good at solving them. We're thinking more outside the box in solving them. So for you, if you're getting into business or if you're experiencing something else in your life, stop thinking so one-track minded about your problems, because there's so many alternative solutions and so many options when it comes to solving them. So yeah, that's the lesson of the day. But right now, I'm actually gonna go and chill on the balcony for a little bit, work on some TikTok videos, hang out, and yeah. I'm also thinking about hosting an event here in South Florida. It's gonna be like a complete black tie event. Like I'm talking tuxes. We're gonna have waitresses walking around, and like little like champagne glasses on the trays. You know, like straight like out of Batman, or like, you know, Tony Stark or Iron Man. Like, you know, things like that. That's kind of what we want to do. So it'd be really dope, because I haven't really seen many e-com events or just business networking. I wouldn't make it just e-com, but business networking events that are black tied. Like I don't know if there has been one. And if there has been, I haven't been invited. So I'm gonna throw one of our own, hopefully in May, and I think it's gonna be dope. So I'm gonna look into venues and things like that for the event. It'd just be cool to meet a bunch of people, put on a nice event, everyone dresses nice, you can meet some like really quality people. Like it would be only quality people that would be allowed to go. And there'd be like a whole vetting process. So that's something that we're gonna do. And yeah, so I'm gonna go head out on the back balcony and work on all this stuff. So I'll talk to you guys in just probably like an hour or something. So yeah, talk to you soon. All right, guys, so I just made some tartare again. Actually came out much better this time, so getting better every single time. But yeah, so I talked about how we've done 360K, and I just checked and it's been literally like 60 days. So a couple of things that got us here. A couple of things that got us to the point where we're doing 360K in 60 days is, first, let's talk about the mindset behind it, right? Hunter and I, when we started this CBD company, we put 3 months of like just kind of revision before we actually started live traffic and accepting sales. So by that, I mean, we had to sample several different variations of our product before we found the one that we're like, yeah, this is the one. So we did that. We played around with a ton of different designs, logos, even brand names before we found the one that stuck. And so 3 months is a long time. Mainly that's because we had to get everything approved by the FDA, and you know, that was a process. But essentially, we have a facility here in Florida that produces all of our items for us, FDA approved facility, great ingredients in our formula and everything. So it took us 3 months from idea to execution. And then it's been 2 months since we've been live, so around 60 days, and we've done 360K, right? So the mindset that we had when we got into it was, okay, this is not just some pop-up store that we're gonna just run for a quick profit, right? I've done that plenty of times before. I'm sure that you guys are thinking in that mindset a lot of times about your businesses is like, okay, I just need to make some money. Let me get a store up real quick and make some money, right? Well, in my opinion, that's the wrong way to approach e-com and business as a whole. Is your mindset shouldn't be, let's pop up something to make money. Yes, that's always a goal when you're in business, but the mindset when we got into this is, okay, let's build something really, really cool, and let's build it for years. Something that we're super excited about doing, something that we actually feel like can take us to the next level, right? So our mindset already was out of the quick cash grab mentality and more into long-term focus. And that is very important, even if you're still drop shipping, to have the long-term vision for yourself, for your product, for your brand, for your store, because that's gonna take your thought process, rather than it being so short-sighted, to something long-term, it just opens up a different thought process in your head for how you approach certain scenarios. So when we launched, because we're focused on having this be a long-term project, because of our mindset, what we did was we focused very heavily on performance. So performance, meaning we made sure that we're not getting many chargebacks. We made sure already before we started, we had the infrastructure supported by our customer support staff so that they're going in, everything's working properly, people are getting calls, they answer within 10 seconds. We made sure that the infrastructure was built, not just for the short term, but for the long term, because we understand that having a brand, you need to build for the long term. Even for e-com stores, you need to start building for long term. Long term is what's gonna make you, outperform the guy that you're looking at on Twitter, right? So already we started building our infrastructure for long-term success. So that means great fulfillment times. We looked into great fulfillment companies around us. We have like a week-long fulfillment max. Sometimes it's like 3 days. Yeah, this is really good today, but 3-day fulfillment, right? So immediately we started looking into, okay, what are the problems we've experienced with dropshipping? Fulfillment time, customer support is not good. We just used to outsource to VAs in Philippines. That's great, you can do that if you have great quality ones. We wanted something that was for sure quality, so we hired a company based in the US to do all of our calls, because when you pick up a phone, you don't want somebody to be like, hello, this is, so-and-so. You want it to be, hey, what's your order number? How can I help you? Whatever, right? So we made sure that our staff was American. We made sure that our customer support team sounded legitimate when people pick up the phone, so that people aren't already off-put by the fact that they're from the Philippines. And that's no hate to people in the Philippines, but it's just a stigma. So already we started with a long-term focus on our infrastructure for scaling, right? If I started a dropshipping store And I've done this before where I started a store, took it from zero to, let's just say 360K in 60 days. Well, when I started the store, I wouldn't have been focused on the product fulfillment. I wouldn't have been focused on customer support. I wouldn't have been focused on having abandoned carts. I wouldn't have been focused on SMS. I wouldn't have been focused on the actual infrastructure of the business. I would have just been focused on finding the winning product, the winning creative, the winning angle, right? Because that's how you bring in revenue. So where we weren't focused on how to bring in revenue, we were focused on infrastructure, already knowing that we could bring in revenue just through our affiliates. So by doing that, what we did was built essentially our infrastructure for scale. So if I started a dropshipping store and did 360K in 60 days, well, probably by now I'd either be shut down by Shopify payments for chargebacks or refunds, or I would be on hold, or I would just be unprofitable because of all the chargebacks. There's a variety of things that could have happened, but because we built our infrastructure to make sure that it was quality enough to scale, now we're able to scale with ease. And we just know that our traffic is being handled, and we're working on pushing our own traffic as well through TikTok, and then just like with the affiliates as well. So knowing that we're building something long term has kind of opened our thinking into, rather than it be let's just make a quick bag, to something where we can make a quick bag, but we're focused long term. So as I mentioned, our thoughts and perception on the business were completely different than they are than your typical guru on Shopify that's just popping up a store to make some money. So that's something that allowed us to get there. I would say that's the key thing that allowed us to get there, right? That and hiring the right people, the relationships. So customer support staff is a great example of hiring the right people. If you hire a bad customer support representative, well, you could either be completely refunding way too many people or not enough people, and you might not know, because a lot of founders, what they don't do is read through their emails. They don't read through anything. They don't care to actually look at what the customer's concerns are. And so for us, we're studying all the time. Why are people charging back? Why are people getting refunds? What are our cancellation reasons? And so with that, we're able to optimize every single thing inside of our business. And so that's another thing, right? If I were focused on dropshipping just for 60 days, well, I wouldn't care about the next 9 months out of the year or 10 months out of the year, right? But for us, because we're focused on 2, 3, 4 years from now, what we're doing is we're constantly optimizing everything within our business to in turn give greater customer satisfaction, which is so important when it comes down to starting a store or a brand or a business, whatever that is. Even if it's an agency, you need to focus on customer experience because you need to focus on the long-term vision. You can't be focused on what's gonna happen tomorrow. So that's basically, I would say, what set us aside and also allowed us to scale so quickly, because we built the infrastructure. Because even if I had the same affiliate relationships that I have now and I hadn't built that infrastructure, I would have been shut down month 1 due to chargebacks and no refunds, right? So immediately, infrastructure remains the most important thing, and it will always remain the most important thing in your businesses. And that's why I focus so heavily on infrastructure, SOPs, great customer support scripts, making sure that everything before a customer orders is done properly. Otherwise, it's gonna get fucked up after that. You need to be very focused on your infrastructure, no matter if you're dropshipping, starting a brand, or whatever other business you're doing. Focus on the experience, the infrastructure of your business, right? So that is immediately the mindset shift that you need to make right now in order to have success with whatever business you're gonna do. If you're focused on just a quick bag, that bag is not gonna come to you. So yeah, that's basically what allowed us to scale to where we're at now. And it's going to be the same exact thing that allows us to scale to 10 million a year, 20 million a year, 30 million a year, right? If we don't have an infrastructure, you're not scaling to that point, no matter how good a marketer you are. So that's the most important thing that I think that I could push to you guys right now is focus on your infrastructure, make sure you're hiring the right staff for customer support, make sure you're working on with great suppliers, order samples, make sure the product is decent enough for the people not to want to charge back. You just need to be very focused on the customer, and in turn, the customer will spend more money with you or just won't charge back a refund, so you get to keep your money. That's the most important thing. A lot of people don't talk about the chargebacks or the refunds that happen once you're doing e-com. Instead, they just talk about their revenue on their Shopify dashboard. And I could talk revenue all day long, right? I did 360K revenue, but the profit wasn't all that high because I have advertising costs, product costs, fulfillment costs, customer service costs. So there's a lot of things built into this business, but we're focused on scale long term. So right now I'm sitting here telling you we did 360K. I don't know, maybe 60K of that was profit. I'll pull up the exact number right here. So boom, whatever we did from the day we started to today will be right there, and you'll see the profit and everything like that. But the reason that we're able to scale is infrastructure. All those guys that put Shopify dashboards up there, guess what? They don't keep most of it because of chargebacks, refunds, or they get shut down and they don't run another month because they got shut down. So you just need to be very heavily focused on your infrastructure and, of course, then focus on your marketing angles, creatives, and whatnot. But infrastructure is key to scale. That's the most important thing. That's all I can put out there for you guys. But yeah, boys, so I am really confident with how we're gonna move forward. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm so confident that right now, of course, we've only done 360K, but I promise you, as soon as we get an increase, as soon as we have more merchant account cap, we're gonna be doing 500, 600, 700,000 a month with ease because this infrastructure is built for it, And we're continuing, as you can see with the TikTok shop affiliate thing, I could have just launched that and given it to everybody, right? But I didn't. You know why? Because the infrastructure is not there for it yet. We haven't even had an order through TikTok shop come through. We don't know how that looks. We don't know how the flow looks. We don't know any of that. So we're working on the infrastructure before we give it to other people to scale for us. Infrastructure is everything in your businesses, whether it's TikTok shop, Shopify, agency, OnlyFans, whatever it is, you need to have an infrastructure in place if you want to scale that business. So, all right, boys. I'm gonna go finish up this this tartare. I added some little chips in there, give it a crunch. But yeah, so that's gonna be the video for the day. Tomorrow, I promise I'm gonna be up early. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna go hit my workout actually at 9 a.m. tomorrow with my coach. So I'm pumped for that. I haven't been boxing for a little while. I only went once in Utah, which was fun. But I'm excited to get back into it again and keep the ball rolling. So momentum is everything. I feel amazing right now, the way things are going, and I promise you, like I told you, we're gonna have some insane results in the next couple of months. So just stick along for the journey. I promise it's gonna be worth. And comment if you have any questions for me. I'm always in the comments answering you guys. So if you have any questions about who to hire for customer support, how to hire customer support, what are merchant accounts, anything you guys wanna ask me, comment it, I'm there to answer it. So just, yeah, use me as a resource. I'm your guys' resource. So I'll talk to you guys in the next episode, and thank you as always for watching.